Hello, and welcome back to Dreamwalker Tarot. My name is Dawn, and this is the June reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Mercury, and Venus. Okay, so to start my readings off, I'm doing a card pull from the Sacred Cycles Oracle deck. I got this in my Goddess Provisions box, and I am using them because retrograde is a sort of sacred cycle, right? I feel like retrograde is a time of divine lessons. And if you look at the link in my bio, I did a video kind of going over what experiences a lot of us or the collective had during this retrograde period and some of the lessons that you might have been taught during that period. And so I did post a video about that, and the link is in the bio, so go and check it out and let me know what you think, and also let me know what experiences you had during this last retrograde period. So Virgos, what did you experience, or what did you learn or take away from during this last retrograde period? Like a supermoon, a blood red supermoon in Scorpio. I mean, that's pretty intense. Look at that. The card that comes out is legit a lunar eclipse. That's amazing. That's fucking amazing. And what other lessons did they take away from this too many cards? These cards just really want to come out. Okay, take that. Fallopian tube. Okay. I didn't really want for, but who am I to tell Spirit what to give us? Red tent. That came up in the red tent is one of the cards that came out. This card also came out for Cancer. So some of you might have Cancer in your chart, but this is a card that's really talking about community. And so this energy is definitely kind of playing out for a couple of the signs that I've done so far. So it's interesting to see that it's here also. The first card that came out, again, like I said, is Lunar Eclipse. And I was just mumbling to myself about the lunar eclipse in Scorpio that just happened. And that card came out. And then this card is the Fallopian Tubes with the rainbow. And oh, look at that. Make it look so pretty. This is Return to Sender. Oh, sorry. Return to Source, which is actually kind of cool. And then again, the last card here is the Red Tent. So these were the things that were presented to you during Mercury retrograde. Some of the things that you had to learn, or some of the lessons that you learned during that time period. So the first card, being the lunar eclipse, is for you to embrace your shadow, right? So the eclipse this time was in Scorpio, which was an opportunity for you to shed, kind of transform yourself, get rid of old energies, and kind of remake yourself a little bit. And so it's interesting to see that the card that is also there for you, which for you in particular of all signs, is the ability to embrace your shadows, which Virgos tend to have a bit of a shadow, right? Like there's like this, for some of us, there is an overwhelming need and urge for perfection. And so when you are striving for that, you find fault, right? And you find things that are not, necessarily perfect. And I feel like that adds to aspects of us that kind of make us appear to other people to kind of, just kind of operate from a shadow space when that's really not what it is, if that makes sense. So anyway, lunar eclipses occur when the earth obscures the light from the sun that shines upon the full moon. In the old world, the moon's disappearance was cause for suspicion and ignited a fear of the unknown. You're being called to get familiar with your shadows. The time has come to root out any lingering or stuck energy, limiting beliefs, or old stories that may keep you stagnant or playing small. As you explore and befriend your shadows to learn from them, you will find deep wisdom and remember how to trust yourself. Anyway, I don't even want to get into that, but earlier today, this is the message that was kind of coming down for me, is to trust yourself, trust your abilities, trust your talents, trust your wisdom. I feel like we don't always trust ourselves. So this is interesting that this is coming up. This journey is bound to leave you with a better understanding of your past and present. The wisdom of this nighttime wonder lies in letting go, releasing expectations, rejecting self-imposed limits, and setting down all that is no longer yours to carry. Your sacred body is asking you to release these heavy limitations during this transition. Let them go and allow yourself to be free. What am I keeping in the shadows? All right, I'm gonna go to this card. This card, like I said, came out for Cancer. And in relationship to the other cards that came out, it was like an overwhelming need and desire for community feminine connections. And I feel like what is being illuminated here by the full moon as a part of the shadow that's hiding under this lunar eclipse here is the need and the desire for community, especially community with other women. Right? So friendships, I feel like there is a lapse in mothering energy in your life. You might not have a good relationship with the women in your family. You might not have a good connection with your sibling, your female siblings. And I feel like you might be kind of in a space where you're searching for a community of women that you feel like you can love and trust. But the issue here is, this is not an issue about looking at other women as you being able to trust them. It is a shadow that has derived itself from the relationship that you have with your mother. It's the reason why you can't trust or build connections with other feminine energies, is due to the relationship with your mother. So you might want to do some inner child work to kind of understand how that dynamic plays out in your life, okay? And I'm not even going to read the red tent, to be honest with you. I'm going to go and read the return to source. Letting go allows me to begin anew. Completions and endings hold a unique energy. As the final stage in the never-ending cycle of life, death is the last letting go of a life experience. This is the process that brings any creative endeavor to a close. After a time of inspiration, growth, and sharing your gifts, you are being asked to let go of that which has run its course. If something has lost its vital force for you, having kept holding on to it, now is the time to bless and disconnect from it. Give it a proper celebration and a burial. The magic of this stage lies in keeping the faith and belief that in death we return to source. A new conception, pregnancy, and birth await you. You are opening up a portal to view and to new and vibrant endeavors. By releasing what has fulfilled its purpose, you can rest and look forward to fresh possibilities. But right now, you must fully acknowledge the conclusion of this present adventure with gratitude and reverence, and then disengage to honor the ever ongoing cyclical process. What in my life am I no longer inspired by, but continue to put my time and efforts into? So that's an interesting question, especially coupled again here with this lunar eclipse energy and it revealing shadows. So I feel like there's a lot of work that needs to happen, or for you to have the ability to kind of like let go of some of the things that you are heavy about or that you are self-critical about, and then give them a proper burial and let them go, because those doubts in yourself are kind of inhibiting you from the from you kind of stepping into the space where you need to be, because you're being held back by holding on to the things that you need to let go. And holding on to some of those things have created a sense of insecurity in you that makes it hard for you to actually push yourself out of your comfort zone. And it's also blocking your creativity because you're second guessing yourself with a lot of the things that you want to do, because you're over analyzing it. And so you're not getting anywhere. So you need to release it and start fresh and new without the burdens of those limitations in your life, right? And 46 is again fallopian tubes. I dance within the polarity. When an egg is released from an ovary during ovulation, it travels through the fallopian tubes. Here it might pass through without event, or the egg might potentially meet with sperm that have made their way past the cervix, let's see, and the uterus. This connection begins a new conversation for the body to navigate. As a meeting place, the fallopian tubes represent a call toward deeper unity within yourself. You're being asked at this time to practice merging the doing and being parts of yourself. You may identify these as your masculine and feminine aspects, the lunar and solar, or the night and the light and the shadow sides. The words are not as important as your personal experience of the energy they represent. Taking time to explore where these polarities meet within you, noticing where one plays a more assertive role than the other. This is an opportunity to explore these different parts of you, ensuring equal value with each end of the spectrum and staying curious about where they connect and dance together. So really taking the time to really understand yourself, your cycles, your patterns, the way that you operate, the way that you navigate when it comes to making decisions about your life, in all aspects, right? And so the journal prompt for this particular card is, where in my life do I actively pursue my desires? Where do I relax and choose to receive? All right. I'll do the tent also, the red tent, but I'm gonna stick. My story is that I feel like a lot of this has to do with your mother, your relationship with your mother, your relationship with the feminine. But the red tent is I create sacred space for myself. A red tent is an ancient ritual space that's deeply rooted in traditional cultures, respect and reverence for the human body, and its connection to the earthly rhythms. Also called moon lodges or menstrual huts, these structures offered a retreat for those experiencing their cyclical bleed, creating a place for rest, a pause from daily obligations, and an opportunity to connect with others in the community. These spaces are slowly reemerging in a modern culture, but can also be created at home or with a small group in your community. This is a call for you to create sacred space for yourself in whatever way would most serve your needs at this time, whether for your own menstruation or a haven for some personal reflection. Crafting a safe space for your prosperity is a gift to your overall well-being. This can be as simple as a designated chair that you settle yourself upon to drop into a more magical mindset. It can also be a whole room dedicated to cultivating your self-care explorations, a space that invites others in to honor the sacred time. This is your opportunity to declare the ways you'll be stepping back to reflect upon your life and nurture yourself while being connected with others who can support you. What would your ideal red tent space look and feel like? That would be a good thing to create. It's like a red tent space. where you can like go and meditate and do like steams and stuff like that. That would be amazing. And so the next card that I'm using comes from the Prairie, what's it? The Prairie Majesty Oracle. And this is going to be the theme for you guys for this month for Virgos. Okay, we have a card. B. How cute is that? This is like so perfect for you. Just be. How can I know myself as absolute? How can I know myself as absolute? B. And this is the bison. So oh, I just saw it. Let me put it right here. You can see it. The totality within you is always available. You are unlimited, undiminished, and unrestricted. Your eternal soul knows itself as unconditionally loved and loving. As an integral part of the whole, you are always connected to the all, whether you are consciously aware of it or not. You can tap into this at any time. Be still, go within, and feel this truth. In this time of great awakening and healing, it grows easier and easier to do so. As the largest North American land animal, bison has no natural predators. His solid bulk belies his equally powerful agility. He can run fast, jump high, and turn quickly, yet he spends most of his time calmly grazing, resting, and chewing his cud before moving on. His role is key to creating the prairie habitat, since his foraging behaviors help disperse seeds and aerate the soil. The more each of us takes time to connect from within and act from an awareness of our true sovereign nature, that we are always loved, always powerful, and always enough, the more we create an environment that supports everyone. Each of us holds great power to draw on as needed. Center yourself in this certainty. Nothing can harm or erode your eternalness. This is confident shit, bitch. You see what I'm talking about? Yeah. Some confidence for that ass. Being self-aware and trusting yourself and knowing yourself is definitely the theme. All right. So I am doing, let me move this card over here. 5-card draw for this month's reading. And it is like a half a Celtic cross. So it's like the Celtic cross without the tail. And pull 5 cards for you to kind of discuss what you should be looking forward to, or what events might be happening, or just the energies that you might be faced with during Gemini season, your sister sign. I'm going to take a photo of this so you can see. Oh, this is actually better. I've been having issues trying to get it all in the frame, but I'm going to take a picture of it and then put it up on the screen so you can see it. In the current moment, I feel like you are having a lot of thoughts, kind of like thinking about your childhood experiences. Like I feel like I was just talking about like your mother wound, issues or relationships that you have with your mother, and the way that those are kind of like manifesting in your life during this time period. You know, when you have a good relationship with your mother, it really has an impact on your development as a person, as a human being, in a lot of ways that if you didn't have it, it's a shock sometimes when you see it in other people because you don't have it, right? And I know you know what I'm talking about because we as Virgos notice everything, right? So these are things that you pick up on and these are things that you notice. And I feel like you're having memories of your childhood. There is an element or a part of you that wants to focus on all the good things because that makes you feel better about the situation, right? But what's crossing you here is the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So this is an energy here of someone who overgives or gives a lot of themselves and really doesn't leave anything. They give a lot of themselves to other people and don't leave enough of themselves for themselves. So I feel like you're overspending on your energy, that emotional labor. Like we have 2 sixes here, right? We have 2 sixes here. So a lot of the dynamics that you had as a child are actually being mirrored back to you in your relationships currently, and it's causing an issue for you because I think you're slowly coming into the realization of the things that you didn't learn or the things that you didn't get, or the fact that you gave so much of yourself to other people and didn't get what you felt like what you actually needed to get back. Like you didn't get it. And I feel like that realization is something that is kind of like hitting you this month. In the past, you might have had a situation. This could kind of be presenting itself in a way due to there having been a loss of some kind with a person. So we're gonna call this person like a fire sign individual. So we're talking about Leo, we're talking about Aries, and we're talking about, what's the other fire sign? Why can I never remember it? Sagittarius. Sagittarius. So this person is in the past, right? So obviously they might be connected to your childhood in some way. This could be a parent, this could be a sibling, you know, but there's a loss attached to this individual in your life, which is kind of like the reason why you're kind of in your feelings about some things, is due to the relationship with this person. You know, it might have been a breakup, it might have been, you know, it feels like a really emotional ending, right? You probably felt like you gave too much of yourself in this situation. And so I feel like you're kind of struggling with that. So in the conscious, we have the Hanged Man in reverse. And so due to like the nature of this relationship and the loss, I feel like you're in this holding pattern where you're really not making decisions, or you're kind of being hesitant on making decisions. You're like really dragging your feet about making decisions because I feel like, and I said this earlier, I feel like you just don't trust yourself. I feel like you're kind of beating yourself up because there are things that you saw that you didn't necessarily pay attention to, or you kind of explained it away. And so now, because you made decisions that had horrible ramifications for you, now you're afraid to make a decision at all, and you're just in stuck mode. And then the subconscious level, we have the Four of Swords in reverse. Okay, so you're resting, you're taking time, you're kind of pulling yourself, you know, going into yourself, which is definitely needed. Like, you need this time and space to really kind of think about the things that have happened and however you got to where you're at right now, because you need to leave those things in the past. Like, you need to let them go. You need to release them. You need to give them a burial. You need to give them a funeral, and you need to let it go. Look at the aspects of yourself that played into this situation. Like I said, particularly aspects of your childhood and finances, and how finances played a role in your childhood, your relationship with your mother, okay? And really look at how those things have affected the state or relationships that you have, where you just don't trust your own decisions and you second guess yourself and you make decisions that you know you shouldn't make, or you don't make a decision at all because you don't trust your decision-making skills because of a mistake or because of something that happened. You know, the beautiful thing about things that happen to us and mistakes or that we make or bad things that we go through, they teach us, like they really teach us the lessons that we need to learn, the lessons that we need to learn to move forward and to move forward in a wiser, more experienced way. Like, it's literally a part of life. So some shit happens. You let it go, you release it, and you move forward like smarter than you were the last time, right? So in the future, we have the Emperor in reverse. So if you continue on the path that you're going on, I feel like this is your energy right here. You want to be mindful of allowing your negative energy or your negative vibes, or if you're mad about something else, to kind of like emanate outwards and become a part of like your personality that is viewed at by other people. You want to like not walk around with the yoke and the burden of past situations on you, because it's going to turn into who you present yourself as in the world, and you don't want to be known as that person that nobody wants to be around, okay? So yeah, you just don't want to be this person. You don't want to be seen as inflexible, as mean, as, you know, domineering, or putting yourself in a position where you want to be in control of everything. Even though you don't really want to be in control of everything, you feel like it's not going to be done right unless you do it, or you feel like you should handle it because you don't trust the other person. Like it just snowballs into different aspects and bleeds into different aspects of your life. And I feel like if you carry on this path, you're going to be the bitter Betty, and you don't want to do that. Okay? You don't. You want to, release it. You want to light it up, return it back to sender, and then you return back to sender. Take the time to really focus on the growth that you have in this situation, the things that you've learned, how you've become a better person. And if you've made mistakes, literally understanding what those mistakes were and just being like, okay, I know that I screwed up on this. Let me just, okay, I got it from here, without letting it turn you into a bitter person. Okay. So yes, so that's that. I'm going to do some clarifiers. I don't know why that card keeps coming up. Okay. Okay, Virgo, I got you. I understand. So, again, it really sucks when you know some shit and you know that somebody is not right, but you want to give them the benefit of the doubt anyway because you feel like you can always see the best in people, and they prove you right. Okay? They prove you right. It really, really sucks. Especially when it's done in a very public way. So this deception, which, okay, yeah. This deception here was very public, right? Very embarrassing. It could have been someone that, with the house here, it could be a family member. It could be someone that you share personal space with. So this might have been like your husband, or it could have been like I said, a family member, a mother, a father, a sibling, someone that you share close personal space with, that really, like, you know, or your husband, if you know, yeah, if this is a relationship. But if it's like not like a relationship in terms of like a spouse or a partner, it could be a family member really kind of like did some shady shit that kind of came to light. And I feel like that the situation, whatever it was, you had a vision of it being a different way. Like you were hopeful that you almost felt lucky because of the situation, and now you're in a space where you have to mourn the loss of what came along with this deception becoming public, right? So I completely understand, you know, it's very understandable, but we grow in all things, and all things, like that came to me earlier today, all things are working for you, even the things that you can't see, right? So you put your trust not only in yourself, but you put your trust in the spirit, you put your trust in source, that they will rectify whatever situations need to be rectified. And the only person that you need to worry about is yourself, you know, working on your shadows, working on dealing with the dark parts of yourself that you're trying to overly, like, you know, perfect, and really kind of looking at how different aspects in your life, in your early childhood specifically, have affected you in terms of the way that you make decisions about certain things, or the fact that you don't trust yourself enough to make decisions even when you know that the decision you're making is not necessarily the right one. Right? Right. So the last thing we're going to do is I'm going to pull a card for advice for you guys. What does Spirit want Virgos to know? What does Spirit want Virgo to know? That card came out also for Leos as well. So some of you might have Leo in your chart. Oh, these cards are so weird that they come out. All right. This is like, yeah, this is perfect. Look at this. Okay, so the first card that came out was Struggle. And then the second card that came out is Joy. How great is that? I like that a lot for you guys. Who is screaming outside? Okay, so number 32 is struggle. Struggle is a part of life, so much so that you probably know people who seem to constantly attract one struggle after another into their lives. This is their comfort zone. While struggle is natural, it is natural only so far as it lends itself to learning lessons and overcoming their interpersonal challenges. Beneath every one of these struggles is the gift of enlightenment, the satisfaction of a lesson learned. Use this knowledge as the light at the end of your dark tunnel. What lesson is this struggle teaching you? Alternately, after a brief setback, this situation will start to right itself. Oh my God. Joy is 42. Where am I going? In the complete direction. 42. Okay. So, joy, which I love. We are created in joy. The balance of energy and higher vibration brings us closer to divine love, pure joy. Joy can be a destination, but it can also be the vehicle that you use to get to that destination. Faith, grace, gratitude, and love all merge together at different times and in different amounts to create joy. There is love, growth, tears, change, and self-realization in this card. This card portends a happy and joyous time. So we can get through all of this right now, and we can just, you know, really take our time to heal and just kind of, you know, decompress and allow ourselves to let go of the things that have hurt us in the past. We can move forward, and joy can be yours, right? Which is a beautiful thing if you think about it, right? So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you listening to this reading. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for post notifications. Leave your comment below. Let me know how you feel about this reading. Share the reading with a friend. Of course, I like shared videos. Share the video with a friend if you feel like this could help them. And I will see you guys soon. Thank you for being here. Bye.